Thank you very much. This is on. Awesome. There. All right. So we're going to be talking about Steam festivals. This is going to be a lot of data. I've brought a lot of numbers, evaluations from Steam festivals and stuff. So the end goal of this talk is to help you achieve that on the far right, which was basically our wish lists daily before our Steam Next Fest and on the first day of Steam Next Fest. So first of all, what's a Steam festival? It looks like something about this, something roundabout like that. It always looks different. Some are on the front page of Steam, some are not. They're still quite successful. So you always got your headline and different categories. You've got live streams directly on the front page. This year is the Games Germany event that was held recently. And if you scroll down, then you got stuff like this. So you see all games within the festival, and you have them categorized by genres, by different tags and stuff like that. And so where do we find these things, and what can they look like? For one, Steam Next Fest is one of the most popular ones. It's always for new and upcoming games. My recommendation, always pick up or always get the Steam Next Fest before your release. So ideally, it'll be like 4 to 6 months before your release or something. That's the perfect Next Fest for you. They're always in like April and October, I believe. It might change in future, but always have your game on Steam Next Fest. If not, you're missing thousands of wish lists. Then there are different ones like DreamHack Beyond Indie Showcase, Indie Live Expo, Storytellers Festival, Tiny Teams, Wholesome Direct, and many, many more. Many of these are small and not on the front page of Steam and stuff like that. Games Germany was in parallel to the Steam Next Fest. And so that was a very, very crowded space, and it was still very, very successful. So how do you find these things? I personally recommend these two newsletters. So basically, if you just search for games marketing newsletters, you'll find these two. They are highly recommended to stay up to date, and they'll like be posting stuff like, hey, this festival is in 2 months, apply now. So really useful. Now, these are online events on Steam. They present specific games. They always have a theme. They are very high traffic usually. Have a focus on live streams. Pushes streams with many viewers. It's similar to the Twitch algorithm. It's focused on demos very often, especially if it's about unreleased games like Steam Next Fest. Demos are everything. Steam Deck compatibility is a growing factor so that Steam pushes your game. Sales, if your game is already released, you always want to be on sale during a festival. And you just have crazy wishlist possibilities. And the interesting thing is that these points, live streams, directly on the front page. Demos, directly on the front page. Steam Deck, directly on the front page. And this will just continue for the festivals to come, that these three things are always heavily featured. Now, how many wish lists are we talking about? How successful can you be? This is from our game Doki Doki Ragnarok. It's our, for one, it's our store impressions and our wish lists that we got for our game before Steam Next Fest. So 30,000 impressions on one day was our peak, and 22 wish lists on a day was our peak. Can you still see the 30K and the 22 here? And these are daily numbers. So we had over 1 million impressions, really for our store. And we had, like, I believe it was over 2,000 wish lists in total, or 3,000. We got the numbers here coming up. So it's a huge difference. And as you can see here, after you have such a spike, Steam automatically values your game more. So after this whole event, it continued higher than it was before. So for our game Doki Doki Ragnarok, we were at Steam Next Fest, got 2,600 wish lists. Then we were at the DreamHack Beyond Indie Showcase, 200 wish lists. Indie Live Expo, this was not on Steam, it was not a Steam festival, but we just took the video that we had for Steam Next Fest, sent it over there, copy-pasted our data from Steam, sent it. It was like 5 minutes of work, 400 wish lists. Storytellers Festival, 300 wish lists. And that's in total 3,500 wish lists only from always entering our stuff into these festivals. Now, the trick here is, I once recorded a video to stream for the Steam Next Fest, and I used this. So that was 2021. 23, I used the exact same video. So I didn't even update anything. Now, for the games made in Germany, I entered our game Doki Doki Ragnarok and an upcoming game, Beacon Patrol. So both games had streams running. Doki Doki Ragnarok is released, had a sale of 30%, and had a demo available, and had no Facebook ads running. 600 wishlists. Beacon Patrol had a stream running and 70 euros of ad budget. It's not much, but anything above 40 euros gives you results which you can work with. That's my personal experience. So just use 50 euros if you want to experiment, and do that again and again and again and again. If you find something that works, then use 100 or 200 euros. And always have a look at your sales and stuff, though, that you're actually always making profit. So yeah, 750 wish lists. And the nice thing here is Doki Doki Ragnarok has been released for 2 years now, or basically publicly known with demo, etc., for 2 years, released for 1.5. It's still got 600 wish lists. Now, the individual components. For one, the live stream. This is how it looks. If you have a live stream running on Steam, I highly recommend uploading images for the left and right. These banners always have a call to action. So here's wish list now. Our game is released and stuff. The only thing that we updated here, we removed the demo banner that we had. So now it's Doki Doki Ragnarok, still wish list now. Yeah, and here you see 2 viewers. That's not much. But if you do everything right, with a few tips, yeah, so I recorded a Let's Play. This is a Viking dating game. You date villages and flirt with the villages, and if they consent, you may pillage. That's how it works. So I dressed up as a Viking here and just recorded a Let's Play. So it's very, very cheaply done. And on one of these screenshots, I believe you'll also see version number 0.7. The game has version 1.2 or something, because this is a pre-release version that I played, and I never recorded a new video because that's just too much effort. But here you see 750 viewers. That was during the Steam Next Fest. And it was climbing to 850, 915. There you see the version number. It's that pre-demo version. 979 concurrent viewers. So this was really, really popular. And here you see at one point, like the top 3 within this festival, they went up to 2K, but we were on 3rd position for many hours. So that people that went onto the Steam Next Fest, the first thing they saw was probably our game, at least on the side. So how do you do this? How do you create such a live stream, and how can you be successful with that? So for one, you do not stream live. You have a pre-recorded video, and you let this thing run from OBS Studio 24/7. I just put my MacBook there and let it run all night. As I had only one room in my apartment, it was a bit annoying at night because it was one of those Intel MacBooks that really use their fan. Yeah. So I actually, if you do stuff like this longer, I recommend using a Steam Deck, one of those M1 MacBooks, a Mac Mini, or even maybe a Raspberry Pi if it's strong enough. Just have some energy efficient thing. Don't have one of those fat NVIDIA cards running every time. If you only have that and you want to run for one festival, do that. But if you're running like 10 festivals in a year, it's probably going to suck up a lot of energy. So you just record gameplay, however that looks like. We will be showcasing the video that we were streaming over at the game station, so you can see how cheaply made this was. So it was a very, very rushed job. We had a few days only, and it was like, okay, we quickly have to like buff the visuals and have to throw something together and record it and cut it together and upload and just go. So you don't have to be a pro. Anything is always better than nothing. If you stream something that sucks, it's at least 100 times better than nothing, at least. If you have anything else to do, to show, do it, especially for something like Next Fest. We, for example, had a video of our character designer designing a Viking. Like she had a let's draw of a Viking, and I just threw that into my program that I don't know how to use, and I said, I don't know, quadruple speed, and upload it, and that's done. And that was good. Show different modes, biomes, just have the colors change. The same rule applies to Steam screenshots, just have things look different. Aim for around 15 minutes plus so that people that watch your stream for 5 minutes don't think, oh, this is like only 2 minutes looping again and again and again. But you don't have to fool the people that try to watch it for actual 60 minutes. Nobody does that, and if they do, they deserve to see that it's a loop. Yeah, learn basic video cutting techniques, nothing else. I have no clue of DaVinci Resolve. It's free. I researched a few things, Googled a few things, and here on the right you can see I was able to like drop in a background image and throw in some text. Then I found that shadow button that looked a bit fancy, and that's it. So it looks like a preview, like up next this scene, then we just show that in full screen, and then up next the next scene and who's doing it. It looks a bit professional, but it's really, really, really easy to do. Oh yeah, and one thing, this empty point, actually I wanted to have it say, get your friends on board. If you start out and your stream has 2 people, then it's quite low. It's probably like last place or something. But if you have a look at these festivals, over 50% of the streams have less than 20 viewers. If you can crack those 20 viewers, you're already in the top 50%. Sometimes it's even 10. Like for Games Germany, like I think it was 10, 12 was all we needed to be in the top 50%, which means it's much easier to find you. Because if you place 20 of 40, it's so much easier than being like 38 of 40, because nobody scrolls all the way down. So when you go live with this, use Facebook ads to get more people on your page, because every store page viewer counts as a stream viewer. Get all your friends to open your page and look at that thing. Have it open and running like on some second monitor or something. Spam your friends, abuse your friendship, and that'll go a long way. So that's one thing that I do every time. I was like, I'm sorry, folks, it's that time of the year again. Help us out. And that's especially what has got us up there with Doki Doki Ragnarok, because as soon as you get over these 20, then you get 30, 40, 50, 100, 200, it snowballs really, really hard. Like it's the same thing on Twitch. If you stream on Twitch, annoy your friends, it really helps. The demo. Now, demos actually give you visibility on Steam. So you see here on the in the middle, I marked the time of the Steam Next Fest. And you see there the demo didn't do too much during the festival, but outside of it, partially it's like 80% of our impressions came from the demo. And later on, it's like 10% of your impressions come from the demo. So have a demo online, Steam pushes that. Then the demo gives you lots of stats. So we had 1,000 people play our demo during the Next Fest. And average playtime 16 minutes, that was okay. The demo in total went like 30 or 40 minutes. And yeah, so you see then down there how many % users actually played more than 10 minutes. Not many. Really handy info there. You always want to provide a taste of the gameplay. Just a taste, don't satisfy their hunger. If you have a roguelike and you provide the entire gaming experience, but like you have 3 classes, but your demo has the full game but with 1 class, if I want to play a warrior and I get to play a warrior in your demo and I don't want to play an archer or a mage, I won't buy the game. The demo is enough. Do not have your demo be enough. Test it on Windows, Mac, and Linux, Steam Deck if possible. Because again, cross-platform will have a larger reach, and Steam really loves games that have this Steam Play feature. So if you're not AAA, especially if you're using Unity or Unreal, go cross-platform. Always do it. It's not too hard. You just have to pay attention to a few things. Then have an in-game call to action. If you have a newsletter, you have to have something on your main menu say, newsletter. If you have a Discord and want to get people onto your Discord for your community because you maybe have a multiplayer component or something, have a Discord button on your main menu. So always have a call to action. Always have that wish list now button there, because some people might play your demo to find out if they like it. Or feedback forms. if someone completes your demo, have a feedback form, have a link to some Google Forms or something, because those people, they just took 30 minutes of their lives, played your game, obviously enjoyed it and played it to the end. These people will give you valuable feedback. So exactly, wish list, newsletter, social media, stuff like that. Link to the feedback form, for example, after playthrough. And you always want to make it as easy as possible for people to give you feedback. For us, we went to the Steam community discussions, opened up a post, do you like the demo? Feedback. We got 10 responses. It's really nice. Now for sales, this is important for already released games, not for the Steam Next Fest, but for any other form of festival. Be on sale if possible. It's not always possible due to Steam's restrictions. You can only have a sale every 30 days. Unless it's a seasonal sale, they are exempt of the rule. Always be at least 20% off. That's always a good rule of thumb. Like sales like of 10 or 15%, they only work if you're AAA. A new lowest price will always perform best. So if you have a great festival and you think, okay, that's going to be a huge audience and really want some sales here, then go for a new deepest price and always be it 5% deeper than the lowest price that you had before. These are just a bunch of numbers that I got from these mailing lists, from those marketing newsletters, or also from my own personal experience. I was able to experiment with like 3% cuts deeper than the last one. Nobody notices that. But as soon as you go 5% again, everybody jumps on board, and boom, you got lots of sales again. Here's my data, how I am putting my game on sale. I was 5% lower. There around March 23rd, there you can see I was experimenting with a smaller dip, which didn't bring any more sales. Like I think 5 people bought the game with the 3% lower sale. I think I went from 30% to 33. No one cared. But going back to 30 and then to 35, all of a sudden people cared again. So always have those 5% increments. Then we got Facebook ads. This is what I use to further boost engagement, because for one, of course, you can have earned engagement and stuff. That's so hard to do. You need people to actually do stuff, or you just buy people. So always use business.facebook.com if you're going for Facebook or Instagram ads. I know, for example, Instagram has those in-app ways of posting ads. That's a completely different platform, and it sucks. Always have 40 euros minimum. Everything that I had with less than 40 euros didn't really give me numbers I can work with, because you want to run many experiments and see how they do, compare stuff, do stuff differently, compare again, yeah, you can try stuff out. For example, I ran a Valentine's Day sale, which is something that's not on Steam officially. But during Valentine's Day, I had a Facebook advertisement, I had a live stream running on Steam, and I had a new lowest price on Steam. And that stuff all together actually gathered as many sales as the spring sale did. So with Facebook ads, you can run your own seasonal Steam sales and actually get really good results. So my recommendation is run 3 campaigns over a week just to gather data. They will probably fail. You can gather data, and your 4th one will be good and will break even or even make profit. You can always collect extra wish lists or sales with ads, so always track your data when you're doing this stuff. And calculate your value gain per wish list sale. Like, how much do you get from a wish list? So how much money is a wish list worth for you? I'll have an example here how to calculate that stuff. So the wish list conversion rate for Steam average games, this always moves from year to year. The current numbers we have, I think they're like from 2020, 2021. It's like 19% of wish lists, in average, convert over 12 months. Over the first 12 months. So this is on average, of course, for big games, the conversion rate is much better. For our game, Doki Doki Ragnarok, I believe it was 6%, because everyone's like, what on earth? You're dating villages? That looks weird, wish list. But very rarely do people then actually pay money for that. That's okay. It's a sensation-based marketing, and that works. So, yeah. Here, for example, you see how we calculated some things. The important part here is you have a table with, okay, your sale, like if you drop your price by so and so many, how much money do you make? The brutto that we get for one sale would then be like €4.60. If the game is full price, then it's like, okay, ad cost there. This was, for example, €26. That was a sheet where I got lots of numbers to have this breakdown, but it wasn't really too useful. And the later sales with higher numbers, they give better conversion rates. But yeah, here I see has so many clicks, so many wish list ads, so many sales, how much profit did I get, what's the conversion rate, stuff like that. And then I can say, okay, I got 51 wish lists for €27. That's exactly, that's 50 cents per wish list and €2 per sale. Of course, I get both, so take everything with a grain of salt. But then it's like, okay, profit, cost. I came out green. That's good, awesome. And then I see, okay, this example, if this were to scale, later I found out it doesn't scale this way. The numbers are different because the budget was less than €40. But here, for example, if these numbers were to hold true, then I could go up to minus 55%, and I should still break even, which is something good because if you have more reviews on Steam, the algorithm will pick up your game, show it to more players. So even if you do not make a profit, even if it costs you a little bit, it can still be beneficial in the long run. So another example here is Beacon Patrol, a new game at Games Germany. So for the Facebook ad, we had a target audience of Germany and United States. United States is just the biggest market, and most of our wish lists came from the US. We're also relatively popular in Germany, and our store page is localized in German and US. And we just ignored the rest, because why spend money if we don't understand the market? Age, easy. And then I specifically say, I want people who like the Settlers of Catan, board games, strategy games, puzzle video games, and that like the Steam page on Facebook. So that's very, very specific, but it still works. That's like Facebook says you have a potential reach of so-and-so million people that fulfill these conditions. That's big enough for me. And we'll only reach 10% of those people, which is very specific, and it works. So here you see that we got 480 clicks from 14,000 people who saw it. We paid around 15 cents per click, which is okay. And here you can actually see the ad. We just took that Games Germany banner that they sent us, threw in our art, our key art, threw in one screenshot, put some text in there, and go. That's it. We had a €70 budget, 24% visits. 24% of total visits came from Facebook. So we had around about 2,000 visits in total during this time, and a quarter of that came from Facebook. So it's a substantial amount. 3.4% of people clicked that saw the ad, which is a high number. Anything above 1 or 2 is actually quite nice. So maybe, and we cannot be sure about this, 25% of our wish lists came from Facebook, which would mean 185 wish lists from the Facebook ad. That's not too bad. And there we could then actually say, okay, 185 wish lists costs us €70. How much does a wish list cost? Yeah. The live stream setup. So let's see if this works with sound, maybe. So the important part is, here, we also showed gameplay, but we also had this physical gameplay video because we weren't sure, do we have enough digital gameplay to record? Can we record any digital gameplay? I'm not sure. Let's have this as a backup, and if both works, then we have both in there. And the music here that you hear, that's just some generic jingle that I got off a Humble Bundle. So I have the license to use it. As you see here on the bottom left, we say no in-game audio yet, pre-alpha footage, and that's it. So it's quite cheap. I don't know why the cursor is so large, but it's nice, it's handy during such a video. And I was like, okay, this is good enough. Anything is good enough. Yeah. So we had gameplay and physical gameplay, no in-game audio, 18 minutes. So this was the entire video that we showed. The cuts are on beat, which is always better to have that than cutting from scene to scene off beat. There are one or two cuts that are not too well performed because I'm an amateur, but that's okay. We streamed this 24/7 during the festival. And yeah, so that's the tip with the power saving computer. Then the live stream. Yeah, all the games that were outperforming our game were released and on sale. Or they were also streaming the same video to the Steam Next Fest, which gave them thousands of extra viewers because the Steam Next Fest is just a multitude bigger than the Games Germany event. Or they had a demo. And so we were one of the top performers among the unreleased games that were not on Steam Next Fest, with our 120 viewers on average for quite a time. Like I think it was one whole day where we had over 100 viewers, which is really nice. And now, results. What do we do with all this data? How do we find out if it was a success? So here, for example, for Beacon Patrol, we got our 2,000 impressions, Facebook had 13,000 impressions, and Steam had 194. Okay, total visits, and we got those numbers, 2,000 in total. Facebook gave us 500 of those, and Steam gave us 1,500. This is what happened with the wish list, which is really nice. So we really had over 100 wish lists per day for quite a while. So click rate on Steam, click rate on Facebook. There we can see, okay, the Facebook ad was performing better than the Steam impressions, but that's to be expected because the Steam impressions aren't targeted. If people like shooters, they go on the website, they also see our game. Then, exactly, wishlist ads, we had 750. Wishlists per visit were 38%. That's quite a high number. That means every third person that visited our page actually wishlisted. That was pretty crazy to me. Was not expecting that. Like, I thought 20 would be high. So, of course, we had those 70 euros ad spend, wish list from Facebook, around 185, maybe. So that's 38 cents per wish list. And if you want to go berserk there, you could say, okay, 38 cents per wish list. Now I know that you need around 10,000 wish lists for the Steam algorithm to really pick your game up when you when you actually release. So if we wanted to buy 10,000 wish lists, we know what that would cost. So exactly. Now again, I believe this is already, yep, this is the summary slide. So Steam festivals are all about the live streams, demos, Steam Deck compatibility, sales, and analyzing your results. Exactly. That's it for me, and thank you very much. All right. Now, concerning questions, we do not have an extra microphone to reach around here. So you'll have to just raise your hand. Then I'll be pointing to someone. That someone will then try to scream out their question as easily understandable as they can. I'll repeat it so everyone can understand it. And then I'll try to answer. All right. Any questions? Yes? So the question is if I believe that digital marketing is more important than physical marketing, as, for example, Gamescom attendance or something. I can't really answer that too well, just because like I had one conference, one con attendance with our game Doki Doki Ragnarok, and that was a lot of work because we were only 3 or 4 people. So we always needed like 2 people or something to actually go there. And so we did it once, didn't have a really good measurable outcome whatsoever. So we quickly then jump to a digital-only strategy because it's easy to do for me alone, and it's also very easy to see if it was worth it or not. Because hunting down press articles that might have come up through that or something, that's a bit more work. So I don't know. This is definitely easier if you're alone. Yes? So the question is how much time I invested in the marketing part. Do you mean for the first game that we also released, or the second one? In general. So for the first and second game, so I was in the, I would say, lead role of the marketing stuff that I brought the ideas to the table, most of them, and I always had help in both projects, like people that assisted me in like writing postcards and stuff to send out to press, stuff like that. But for the Steam festivals, most of those things, apart from like, hey, can you please send me a scene of like where you're drawing a character, or can you please record a scene where you're physically playing the game? So those beautiful hands in that one video weren't mine. Those were from Torben, who's also here. He was playing the physical version and recording that, and I just cut that all together. So I did the rest there. I have been reading a lot about marketing for the last like 3 years. Also in preparation of the release of Doki Doki Ragnarok and stuff. Most of the stuff I learned from these newsletters that I mentioned earlier. So it's quite a lot of work. But yeah, for the festivals, if you have those minimum things like live stream demo and a sale, then that's already like 80–90% of what I do. So it's not much more that I do. Yeah. So I would say I do more marketing work than development work on our game that's already released and just getting expansions or something. Yeah. 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 So the question is if I have example experience working with streamers, with promoted streams or other sorts. I have a bit of experience. I believe it was Keymailer that I used to reach many small streamers. That was really useful. We sent out a lot of keys to larger streamers. Nobody covered it. So we didn't have the luck of Markiplier laughing while dating a village or something like that. But those smaller streamers, they were quite good. And we also had, I believe, one person with a few 100,000 views, but it was in Spanish, so we couldn't understand that person. That was on YouTube. But yeah, it was really handy, and for us, it helped us realize that our game was very popular in the LGBTQIA+ community. So that's really nice. And also helps us target people better. Like we know, okay, that community likes this game, then let's add features that that community likes more. Like that's helps us prioritize updates and stuff like that. But we didn't really have that huge boom from Twitch streamers or something. Yes? Hmm? 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 Yeah. Okay, so the question is if it makes sense to enter something like a Steam Next Fest multiple times, and if so, when should you start entering it? So Steam Next Fest, you can only enter once with a game. So that's why I recommend getting the last one before your release. Do not have much more than 12 months between your Steam Next Fest and your release, because all those people that wishlisted your games, if they don't hear from you in a year, they'll most likely forget it. Then they get the email, hey, this game is released, and they're like, oh, what was that again? One of my 200 wishlisted games, or 2,000. So for Steam Next Fest, grab one of those that are like 12 months before your release. If you're still in a risky position, so for example, that could be a reason to actually push back a release. If you would be in a Steam Next Fest like 1 month before your launch, that's maybe a bit close. So maybe push out your launch 2 months or something, so that you have 3 months between the Next Fest and then. So people can be playing the demo, press can pick it up and stuff like that. So maybe do more marketing in that time. As for other festivals, Doki Doki Ragnarok is attending the, what was it? The Indie Live Expo from DreamHack Beyond for the second or third time. I don't know. But you can just reapply, and they'll decide if they accept you again or not. But I have had very positive experiences that it can be worth it applying to these thematic things again and again. And also there are Steam-specific ones, like Steam Adventure or Steam Shooter Festival or something. Just always apply to them. So the only one you have to be careful about is Steam Next Fest, because you only get one shot. Yeah. Oh, and also a demo is mandatory for Steam Next Fest. Yeah. Maybe try someone from back there all the way on the wall. Yeah. So the question, if I understood correctly, is because I said sales are important, if I had data to find out if sales were important? Oh, if I adjusted my price because I realized that sales were important? Yeah. No, I did not do that because I relatively quickly found out that on Steam, sales are everything. Let alone because I almost never buy full price games. I just wait till summer sale and then I go berserk and whoa, where did those 200 euros go? But the thing is, I calculated my price according to the sales. For example, I always recommend having a game price where if you cut 20%, you get just below $10, because then you're also in the below $10 category on release day, which pushes visibility even more. So yeah, going for like, I think it's $12.99 or $11.99. I know, $11.99, basic math. If you take 20% off that, you're just below $10, and that's something that you can use very well. So that's why we also priced our game accordingly. And we just assume that nobody will buy it at full price. Some do, but basically no one. So yeah. Another question from all the way in the back. Yeah? So the question is why I use Facebook ads instead of Google ads. Yeah, I tried out Google ads once, and it was really weird because Google opted to mainly show text-based ads, and I was wondering how do I use that to promote our game. And the only other thing that I found out that Google likes to push are video ads, and we really didn't have a really enticing video. So we went for image-based ads, and so I tried out Google ads a bit, and I tried out Facebook ads a bit, and I found Facebook ads to be much easier to use, basically, for image-based ads. They also support video ads. I don't know how well Google ads perform in contrast to Facebook, but Facebook does well, and I can get the data out of it to evaluate it. So yeah, I don't know if Google also has the potential. Just personally, I recommend Facebook marketing because I had good experiences there. Okay. Anyone else? Yeah?
For your next marketing campaign, what would you like to improve on or do more of?
Okay, so the question is, for my next marketing campaign, what would I change or improve, right? Yeah, what would I like to do more of? So for one, I would like to use the Steam Next Fest and actually write the press. Contact them like maybe a month before Steam Next Fest with an announcement, hey, this game demo is going to be available then and then. Send them the demo already so they can try it out. And then also because it was really tricky to get responses from press back then, I would also launch, I will launch a like round about 200, 300 euro marketing campaign over a few weeks, right after I contacted the press so that they see that annoying email. Your Beacon Patrol is coming next month. Okay, good. Then they get on the tram or something, drive home, open Instagram. Oh, an advertisement for Beacon Patrol. I think I read that name somewhere. So I'm going to try that approach. And also, those advertisements will also get more wish lists before the Steam Next Fest. Probably not worth too much, but I'll find that out. So I'm definitely doing more experiments now. And also, yeah, more trigger happy to just go, okay, 50 euros there, 50 euros there, try things out, because I know from the first game that it works, and it also works to gather wish lists. So I can do that pre-release. We hardly had any advertisement pre-release. So that's one thing that I will definitely change now and try to actively get those 10,000 wish lists before release and not just advertising the game as it's released. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. Doesn't look like it, or I'm missing someone. Okay, so thank you very much.